For only 2 years, this seasonal pop-up haunted house operated in a quiet suburban area near our college. Every October, it opened its creaky doors to thrill-seekers looking for cheap scares. It didn't even have an official name. Some people just started calling it Haunted Hill House because of a flimsy Party City-style sign that had been propped up on a makeshift stand in the front lot. The location wasn't really a parking lot either. It was more like an abandoned gravel clearing they designated for cars. It was during the second and final year of the attraction that my friends and I decided to check it out. It was me, Matt, Michael, and Eddie. We picked a Thursday night because we were all college students with Fridays off, and we figured it'd be less crowded. We were right. There was barely a line for the ticket booth, and when we walked to the entrance, only about 4 people stood ahead of us. What we didn't know was that the attraction was letting people in one at a time. No signs, no warnings, just a creepy lady in fake blood at the door, opening it for each person every 2 minutes. We shoved Michael to go first, laughing about it at the time. I ended up going third, right after Matt and before Eddie. When it was my turn, the woman gave me a blank stare and opened the heavy black door. I stepped inside. The air was thick and musty, dimly lit by flickering red and green lights. Props of mutilated bodies, fake blood, and grotesque skeletons lined the narrow corridors. Every now and then, a costumed actor would leap from a dark corner or emerge through a hidden panel in the wall, screaming or moaning. I wasn't usually jumpy, but they got me more than once. Eventually, I reached a long hallway that connected 2 themed rooms. It was darker than the rest, completely silent. As I walked through, I suddenly felt something brush against my back. I spun around instinctively. A tall figure stood there, half shrouded in shadow. I chuckled, thinking it was another actor, but then the figure did something unexpected. He shoved me, not hard, but forcefully, guiding me down the dark hallway. I stumbled, disoriented, thinking maybe it was just a new part of the act, something immersive. But he didn't say a word. He just kept pressing me forward until we reached what felt like a storage room. A door slammed shut behind us. The room fell silent. It was pitch black except for the tiny glow of emergency lights near the ceiling. I felt hands on me, not playful or part of a show, but firm, invasive, and wrong. I recoiled. "Dude, back off!" I shouted. There was no response. "I said you're going too far. You're not supposed to touch people like that." I stood there in the dark, waiting for the guy to say something, maybe push me into the next section or break character. But he said nothing, just stood there. Enough time passed for me to realize this was not part of the haunted house. Despite the rules, I pulled out my phone and turned on the flashlight. I was in a dusty storage closet, full of prop boxes and janitorial gear. But my focus zeroed in on one thing: the tall man standing just a few feet away, unmoving. He wasn't wearing a costume, no makeup, no theatrical clothing, just black jeans, a black hoodie, and a plain black half mask covering the lower part of his face. "Who the hell are you?" I asked, backing up. He didn't respond, just slowly raised his arms and waved them in weird, theatrical motions, almost like a mime, as if pretending to be some kind of character. I bolted. Using the flashlight, I retraced my steps through the hallway until I found another actor. He screamed at me to turn off my light. I ignored him. "Someone just grabbed me, violated me. I don't think he works here." The actor, probably a teenager around my age, dropped his act. He looked stunned. Just keep walking that way. You're near the exit," he said, pointing. I asked where the manager was. He said I'd have to go back to the ticket booth. Management's office was attached to it. I rushed through the rest of the maze, making it clear I wasn't there for scares anymore. A few minutes later, I was outside. I found my friends, who were confused as hell. "How'd you get out last?" Matt asked. I told them everything. We walked together to the ticket booth and asked for the manager. "He's not in tonight," the girl said. I told her what happened. She looked horrified and promised she'd alert the staff. I demanded my money back, and she handed me back my $30 without hesitation. The next day, a girl from our college posted something on Facebook. She had been sexually assaulted in the same haunted house. Same night. Same way. We weren't friends, but we had mutuals, and I reached out. Her story? Nearly identical. Except the man had gotten much more physical with her. She had filed a police report, charging the haunted house with negligence. The owners claimed the man wasn't part of their staff. I believed them. But how the hell did they not have better security? How could someone get that far inside the maze without anyone noticing? The haunted house was shut down permanently that same October. It was the first and last time I ever went to one.